Hey, welcome. This video is all about food prep. After watching so many people succeed at losing weight and keeping it off, I am convinced that food prep will be the #1 advantage to your success on the program. In our fast-paced world, we will eat fast food. And the question is, who's fast food? Meal prep is the new fast food. So the recipes that I'll be talking about can be found in one of these 3 places. The recipe brochure that you all have, the recipe book that's available at The Healthy Way or on the website, and on the website there's a little recipe tab you can click on. So as I'm going through, just be assured that these recipes are available to you in one of those places. So we are going to get started with entrees. So first, if we were to talk about fish and seafood, I want you to know that I am a big believer in getting the frozen packages, frozen tilapia, frozen shrimp. It's great to have those out in the freezer and always know they're there. I also like to buy canned tuna, so that way you have those seafood items available to you when you're ready to make a recipe at home. Poultry, the chicken breast that you can buy actually in the freezer section over at Costco or wherever you go, is a great thing to have on board too. I like to take my Kraft Zesty Italian fat-free dressing and take about a half a cup of that dressing, put it in a nice Ziploc bag with 3 or 4 chicken breasts, let those marinate in the refrigerator, and so that you can just let them get more and more and more marinated. When you're done with that, you pour out all the marinade, either grill them outside on the grill or broil them in the kitchen, but you will have really moist, lovely chicken breasts. So I always like to kind of keep that going. You're going to find some of these beautiful recipes in the recipe book. These are the apple stuffed chicken breasts. Let me tell you what, they taste like Thanksgiving. So they're in the recipe book, and I like to make up 4 or 5 at a time. Freeze some of them, keep some of them in the fridge. You just kind of are rotating in and out. The turkey meatballs are another one that you're going to really enjoy. They are on the website, and I make those up and either eat those right alongside rice or vegetables, or I plop them down into a hot, spicy, wonderful soup, and I just have a full meal. So again, make up those little meatballs, freeze half, keep half in the fridge, and you'll have something constantly that you have available to you. The little meat loaves, of course, is so important to make these, but you can make these in the little muffin tins, and it's a great way to do. You make up your little meatloaf recipe and then put them in muffin tins and bake them at 350 for about 30 minutes, and you will have little one-dish meals. You also want to then put maybe some of those in the freezer and put some in the fridge, so you've always got them available to you. The egg frittata is another one that you can make in the muffin tin, and so you take 1 egg and some of your favorite vegetables and just whip that up together and put one of those in each little muffin tin. Bake at about 325 for 25 minutes, and you will have a little egg dish to grab in the morning when you're ready to go to work and you've got something available to you right then. Speaking of the morning, a couple of our favorite items that people love to have in the morning, the mock rice pudding that is in the recipe book is cottage cheese and an egg and some pineapple, and yum, it's so good. And usually when I make 4 or 5 servings at a time, and so I have them in the fridge ready to go, and it's a beautiful thing to open up the fridge in the morning and see one of these waiting for you. Another favorite at The Healthy Way is the pumpkin custard. This is 1 serving, and so let me show you how much is in there. It's just a great serving of pumpkin custard. It's canned pumpkin, cottage cheese, and an egg all blended together. My blender makes 5 servings, and let me tell you what, I make up 5 servings of this. And I open up the fridge and there they are, and they're great for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whenever you like. If you like pumpkin pie, you'll like pumpkin custard. So look that recipe up, because you're going to be pleased when you make a bunch of those up too. The turkey chili makes a big, big pot. You'll find the recipe in your little brochure. And then I put them in individual containers so that I've got them ready to go and I can grab one out. Again, it freezes really, really well. So if you've got a big pot of it, freeze part of it and keep part of it out, and you'll really enjoy the turkey chili recipe as well. The pancakes are a favorite at the Healthy Way. Lori's Blueberry Pancakes. They're on the website. These are sans blueberries. A lot of times people like to keep the fruit out of the pancake and then maybe put some hot fruit over the top to make them yummy when they're actually sitting down to eat them. But they freeze well. They are a lovely pancake. 2 of these equals 1 serving, and they're made with cottage cheese and oatmeal. So you're going to want to look up the recipe for Lori's Blueberry Pancakes. Don't forget about your cottage cheese, 2% cottage cheese. You're going to find that you always want to have some of that in your fridge because you are going to mix it with things and you're going to add it to things and you're going to use it to make dressings and all kinds of things. So it's one of the things that you buy each week, and it's kind of a must when it comes to staying on the program and always having things available. Another neat little tip is when you are putting away food at the end of a meal. Let's say your family sat down to a meal of meatloaf and rice and vegetables. Instead of putting away all those leftovers in individual containers in the fridge, grab your little meal containers and measure and weigh your things out and get some meals ready. When you wake up in the morning and you have 2 minutes to get out of the house, you open up the fridge and you can grab one of these out, take it to work and zap it in the microwave for a little bit, and you're ready to go for lunch. You're so happy when that happens. So meal prep, it's a big deal, and the entrees are a beautiful part of that because if you've got these on board, your fruits and vegetables and all the other things that are going to be added to these meals are just going to be a natural. So those are some of the great entrees ideas. You're going to find more. There's going to be foods that you find in the recipe brochure or you find online that become your favorites. So I look forward to hearing about what are your favorites, and look forward to hearing about the success you have when you become a food prepper. Hey, it's time to talk about vegetables. I know, those things that you bring home from the store, you put them down in those little bins in the bottom of your refrigerator, and then you remember sometime later to go look and you can't recognize what they are. Those are the vegetables, but not anymore, because at the Healthy Way, we want to help you figure out how to prep, how to make things beautiful, how to have things ready so that you find yourself saying, I'm eating my vegetables for the first time in a long time. So I'm going to show you some of those great ways to prep them and make sure they're available to you so that you are getting them all in every day. Everyone gets 4 vegetable servings. So one of the things that we talk about at the Healthy Way that's a neat little trick, when you go to the store and you buy your big box o' lettuce, and we all love these so much and they make such beautiful ones now. This happens to be the spring mix. When you get home from the store, take the lid off, plop a paper towel right in top of there and lay it down, and then store this box upside down in the fridge so that the moisture collects in that paper towel. So what happens is then when you go to make a salad and you pull some of that lettuce out, you're going to throw away that damp paper towel, you're going to lay a new fresh one on top, and that will continue all the way till the bottom of the barrel, and you will be having fresh, crispy lettuce all the way till the end, instead of letting some of it go. So that's one of the neat little tips. Another thing I love to do with vegetables, obviously, is to get them all ready and prepped in advance. Look how beautiful that is. So what we want to do is bring home your vegetables, wash them, and get them all ready to go. Chop, dice, cut, whichever ones are your favorites, and get them ready to go in a bag. So when I get home at the end of the day, this is either ready to roast, or it's ready to slice up a little bit more and throw in a salad, or they're even ready to eat raw if I'm grabbing a little snack and taking it with me. But if these aren't cut up, chances are you're not going to grab them. So we really encourage you to fix them all and get them all going and make yourself available to these every single week. I want to talk to you about roasting these vegetables because if you haven't roasted vegetables, you want to make sure that you do this. So I take as many as I want to roast. I use a little bit of my Pam olive oil spray. So make sure you're not using olive oil, but you're using a little Pam olive oil spray. I spray my vegetables a little bit, work them around, add some kosher or sea salt to the vegetables, lay them out on a nice baking sheet, and you want to have room on that baking sheet so there's kind of airflow going around. A lot of times I'll see people roast so many vegetables too close together and deep on the pan that really what's happening is you're steaming your vegetables. You're not really roasting your vegetables. So we want to get a good roast out of this. So 450 degrees for about 25 minutes, you will have these lovely caramelized roasted vegetables. One of the only problems you'll have is keeping your children away from them because they're so good they're going to even start liking their vegetables. So have them prepped, have them ready, and then when you get home, you just roast them and you're ready to go. Another thing I like to do with my vegetables when I'm chopping is kind of chop them up for a different purpose. Maybe I have salads that I'm going to have during the week, or I'm going to throw some in some fresh omelets, or I'm going to make some soup. If these were all chopped up and ready to go, and since you're out doing your chopping, you might as well just make that happen. You have another bag full of these, and you throw them down on the top of an omelet, and you've got fresh vegetables at all times. So you're going to find yourself obviously buying beautiful fresh vegetables like that. You're going to chop up some and have them ready to go. You might make the spicy vegetable soup that you're going to find in the recipe brochure that is so delicious. And that was one that freezes really, really well. You also need to make sure that you have some canned vegetables in your cupboard. So the Rotel is one that you're going to see in recipes at The Healthy Way. And remember, when we take fat out of food, we got to put in flavor. Well, let me tell you, Rotel has some flavor because basically it's green chilies mixed in with tomatoes. So it's spicy. So you're going to see people use this in their turkey chili recipes or maybe their meatloaf recipes to give it some real zip. So that's what Rotel looks like. You're also going to see the recipes that have the pumpkin in it. And this is what the pumpkin looks like. So another vegetable serving right here in a can. And then maybe green beans or other kinds of vegetables that you might just want to have in the cupboard just in case. If everything else runs out, you always know you've got some green beans that you can add to. So another little favorite recipe of mine is there's so many fun things nowadays you can do with jars, but I like to take the little jars. This is 2 cups of vegetables in this jar. I make up 4 or 5, kind of depending on what my week looks like. If you work out of the home and you knew that every morning you could grab one of your jars out and know your salad's ready, you would be thrilled. I like to make it this way, and then the morning of, I add my protein at the top. And since I've marinated my little chicken breasts and they're already cooked and ready, I can just chop one of those up and add it to the top, and I'm ready to go for my lunch for the day. Some of the little dressings, there's so many neat fat-free dressings out on the market, but you can take a little bit of the Catalina fat-free dressing, add it to your salad, and then shake this salad up, and the dressing runs all the way through and gets on all the lettuce, and so you use a lot less when you do it that way. So plan on making up some jars of salad too, which is really fun. Another great thing to have in your freezer when it comes to the vegetable is the Steam Fresh frozen vegetables. Who knew frozen vegetables could be so good? Steam Fresh really, really makes a good one. You want to make sure that you're not having any of them with sauce. You're just wanting the plain vegetables, but that is a great thing to have in your freezer. Sometimes I'll get home at night and I've had everything for the day except my vegetables. And when I know I can have a bag of Steam Fresh, sometimes I've sat down to a big bowl of vegetables and gotten all my vegetables in just at that time because of my Steam Fresh vegetables. So you are going to eat your vegetables when you prepare like this, and that's what we're hoping, is that you get into a rhythm and into a routine of buying these beautiful fresh wonderful vegetables, chopping them up, getting them ready to go so you're ready to go and ready to stay on the program. Hey, it's time to talk about fruit. Fruit's an easy one. There's going to be a few ways that fruit comes into your home. One is going to be frozen fruit. So I encourage you guys to get out and get some berries, get some of your favorite fruits that you love and have them in the freezer. You'll use those for smoothies. You might mix your frozen fruit in with your cottage cheese and a little yogurt and make a lovely salad. You might even find yourself putting your frozen fruit on your little oatmeal breakfast. I've made a few of those up this week, and I've got actually my frozen strawberries on top of these. So it's a great way to get your fruit serving in. That recipe's on the website as well. Another place that you will want to make sure fruit lives is on your pantry shelf. And so you're going to find yourself with some of the fruits that are on your list that you can find in a can. Put those on your shelf in the pantry so that you always have those available to you. This time of year when the beautiful fruit's out and watermelons at the store and the cantaloupes are so great, bring it home. Do just what you did with your vegetables. Cut it up, get it prepped, ready to go. Have it in a great big Tupperware bowl in the fridge. Put it in little 1-cup measuring cups to take with you to work if you're going to grab it. Another neat thing to do is take a little apple, slice it up, and put cinnamon on it and stick it in a baggie. So lots of little things you can do with fruit, either fresh or frozen or canned, to have it available to you and ready, because prepping is the way to go, even with fruit. Hey, and we're going to talk a little bit now about starches and about milk. So of course, remember with your starches, every one of you has 2 starches a day. So there's lots of choices, from bread to rice to cereal to crackers. It's about finding what you like. It's about making sure that you have the right portions and the right choices. So let's talk a little bit about them. The bread choice that I have right here is a 45-calorie bread. A couple of those pieces equals 1 starch, which is really fun. But you're going to find there's some real good breads on the market that you might enjoy having 1 slice for that 80 calories rather than having 2 slices. So dig a little bit, find out about what you like out there when it comes to breads, and find the one that you really, really like. Remember, I talked a little bit about the yellow corn tortilla. This is the extra thin Mission corn tortilla. So I want you to grab some of those. You're going to find them at most stores. 2 of those equals 1 starch. So if you've got those in the fridge, you're ready to go for a chicken taco or a fish taco. And you'll be glad that that's a part of your starches. We have lots of clients that actually cut those up really thin, spray a little bit of Pam olive oil, put them under the broiler, and I mean, you've got to watch them. You've got to really watch them for just a few minutes, and make little corn tortilla chips. So then when they're having one of their fresh salsas or something great, they have the little corn tortillas and they feel like, I'm having everything I need. So that's a fun thing to do with your corn tortillas as well. So when it comes to our cereals, you know, we love cereal, we love Cheerios, and sometimes it's easy to sit down and pour out of that box and pour too much. So if you want to prep and get organized with your Cheerios, bring home the box and sit down with your 3/4 of a cup measuring cup and measure out serving sizes of Cheerios in these little snack bags. And so these can be in a basket on your pantry shelf or wherever you want them to be. When it comes time to sit down to have a snack of Cheerios or breakfast or whenever you're going to have it, you reach in and you know that you have the correct portion size. Remember also as well, it's neat to do with the little snack rice cakes. There's lots of rice cakes on the market. There's lots of flavors. You're looking for 80 calories and 15 grams of carbohydrate. So that's how many are in this little snack bag. And remember, it's important to do that because you don't want to open this bag up and just keep eating out of the bag. You want to be able to sit down with some apple slices or a nice iced tea and a little bit of rice cakes in the afternoon and feel like, I know I had my snack and it was the right amount. So this is a neat way to go about that. Another thing I like to make in advance is some rice. And so I make up either some brown rice or some white rice, make it up in a container ahead of time. And then remember, you grab 1/3 of a cup measuring cup when you go to scoop it out. I I smash that in there really close, get as much as I can, but use 1/3 of a cup to measure that out, and then have a serving of rice. But it's ready to go. It's easy and it's right there. So those are some of the starches. You're going to find a lot more ones that you really enjoy, but make sure that you know that you can plan ahead for those and have those available to you. When it comes to your milk servings, you know, I seem to see that our clients really, really love to get their milk servings in using their yogurt. So we talked a little bit about yogurt in the first little video, but I want to show you, here's one of the Greek yogurts for 80 calories, which is wonderful. This one happens to be a vanilla. Here's another one by Yoplait, Boston cream pie. But any of the yogurts that are 100 calories or below. We have clients that take these and stick them in the freezer, make a little bit of ice cream out of them. Sometimes we use them to blend and use for smoothies. Another time we might use them mixed in with cottage cheese. But I found that the yogurts really end up being quite a nice snack and a little treat sometimes that we save for evening or something. So these yogurts are a way to get those in if milk is not the way you prefer to get in your milk serving. So milks and starches, again, be prepared, plan ahead, and you will have success on the program. Here are some tips for your very best weight loss. Be a meal prepper. We've talked about that today, and I've given you so many ideas. I want to challenge you now to get involved with it. Prep your food from the beginning to the end of the program and actually through the rest of your life. That's the way healthy people live, and I want to encourage you to become a meal prepper. Also, on this program, eat all of your food every day. It's a question I get asked a lot. If I eat less, will I lose more? The answer is no. Actually, it ends up backfiring on you. You don't feel well, you don't lose weight. So every day, get all your food in for your very best weight loss. And eat breakfast. When you wake up in the morning, your metabolism is at its slowest rate, and so it's important to eat breakfast to kind of give your body that jolt that it needs, even if it's a little something just to get your body started. You'll lose more weight when you eat breakfast. Drink 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day. I have my little water bottle here to remind me to remind you that sometimes it's neat to just fill it with fruit. So it's another thing to prep in advance, to have some fruit that you've sliced up and have in the fridge in baggies ready to go. Load up your water bottle and you will be inspired to drink it all throughout the day. Then when it comes to exercise, moderate exercise is really the best. And a lot of you right now are saying, what is moderate? And so I encourage you to come talk to me about that individually. We have some clients that exercise is a big part of their life and they're engaged in it. And so I want to make sure that your calories equal your exercise, and so come talk to me about that. Others of you haven't started exercise yet. You will, and so it's going to be fun when you feel good enough to just start walking out your front door. So moderate exercise is the best on the program. And then remember, no substitutions. Follow the program as is. It was written years ago by some brilliant people that know what to do to get weight loss. And so if you follow it well, you'll have your very, very best results. And when you're doing your prepping, weigh and measure all your foods. Always have your food scale available and your measuring cups, and you will find that you have the right portion size ready to roll whenever you need it. And finally, get a little food cooler of some kind. If it's soft-sided like this, or if you get a hard one, whatever you need. We like to keep at our house some water bottles in the freezer, and so they're frozen ice, and so when we grab our cooler to take with us when we're going for the day or out on a run or whatever we want to do, we throw that ice inside of there and we've got everything cold. When we get home at the end of the day, we put that ice bottle right back in, and then we've always got some ice ready to go in the cooler. But it's about being prepared, not being anywhere that you don't say, I've got what I need to be successful in the program. So, want to remind you that you can email me at letha.healthyway@gmail.com. I'd love to answer any question that you might have. And I have loved spending time with you today talking about food and talking about food prep. And although I know that it is so important to the success that you're going to have on the program, I also know that sometimes what you're eating isn't as important as what's eating you. And I look forward to talking with you in person about some of those things. See you real soon.